I've sort of been watching the YouTube comments on your video, and the response overwhelming, like 99 point. I don't actually think that I've seen a bad comment left. I haven't looked in a couple of days, but the response from your fans, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's been strange because it's mostly been new people. I think leading up to this release, just because of the work we've been doing journalistically, the truth can be polarizing. Well, the truth is polarizing. So there's a lot of folks, maybe from liberal-minded folks from the music industry, that have kind of written me off or said heinous things about me in the past. But those voices are definitely being silenced, because I think what this song is doing is it's creating an opportunity for people who feel disenfranchised or marginalized to be like, oh, wait, like, I'm not weird, or I'm not crazy. There's actually, tens of thousands, millions of people that are not only think what I think, but are going through exactly what I'm going through right now. And I've received thousands of messages from nurses and doctors and professionals that have been fired and demonized and whatever. And it's just like, yeah, it's giving people hope, which is just such a blessing. And it's far beyond anything that I expected or could have hoped for. And yeah, it's just beautiful. It's really beautiful to see.
Well, and as a mom with a 12-year-old, I was really happy that it's conventional pop culture music. However, no swears,
Mm.
no. It was great because it's something that I feel comfortable letting my daughter listen to and learn all the words to. And I noticed that other parents in the YouTube comments felt the same way. And again, one of those things where you're not alone. There are other parents who are desperately looking for music that you you see your kids singing along to, and you're like, no, 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 you can't sing about that. But she doesn't even
Mm.
understand what the words mean. I'm so glad that there's none of that in your song, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, music is it's a vessel, and it
Yeah.
really it resonates with the spirit. And even if you go back thousands and thousands of years across different ethnic groups, different tribes, different ideologies, music was always such a powerful binder for theology and for concepts. So we have to really be careful about the music that we allow into our brains, even if it seems innocent, even if it seems like it's just party music or it's just whatever. There's some very grotesque messaging in contemporary pop culture, contemporary music, even just pop music generally, going back to
Mm-hmm.
50, 60 years. It's usually about either sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's just what it's always been about. So to be able to counter that with some positive messaging in a package that's maybe familiar to people, I think that's what I'm trying to do. That's all I could hope for. And if it resonates with people, whether it's 10 people or a million people, then it's all a bonus from there.
Now, I know what your fans think. I know what your new fans think. What about your former, and I guess current, because you're a recording artist. What is the response from people within the industry, people you used to be colleagues with or are no longer, who are sort of part of when you were initially canceled? Have you heard from any of them?
There's been a few people that have DM'd me and reached out, kind of saying, hey, I've been following everything you've been doing for the past year and a half and speaking out against the public narratives. And you're really brave. You're really courageous, which is like, I appreciate that. But it also, to me, I don't really see it as being brave or courageous, because it takes a lot of courage to just take it on the chin and deal with things the way they are. Because if we don't speak up, like the fabric of our country is being completely ripped apart and destroyed, maybe beyond repair, unless we all speak up. And it doesn't have to be on a huge level. It's just having stern conversations out of love with people that we care about. And then this stops. It's really it. Like, we have this passive aggressive PC undertone in everything we do in Canada relationally. And I think it's really one of the reasons why Canada's really struggling right now throughout the pandemic and all the issues that are arising from it, because we're afraid to have conversations with one another. Anyway, sorry, that's a bit of a rant, but I have received some nice messages. I think because the reception of this has been so overwhelmingly positive and global. I think a lot of people that maybe did me dirty or have had not so nice things to say about me in the past are just shutting up right now, and that's great.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's probably the best you can hope for.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I think I saw this trend for quite a few days at 13, but 12. I think you got as high as 11. I'm not sure if you broke the top 10. Did you?
Not that I'm aware of. It got as high as 11. But that's still pretty incredible.
That's what I'm saying. That was my next question. So number 11, YouTube Music. I think you're probably the number one song Canadian artist for sure. So you would think that might be something that music journalists, entertainment journalists in this country might be interested in, this independent artist with his, his self-written music. He's filmed all the footage in the documentary, or in the video, or at least most of it. He put together the video on his own. What a great story that you trended all the way at number 11, but they don't seem to care, do they? Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, I haven't even had even guys that have supported me in my whole career, like small publications, it's been crickets. No one's really posted it. But they're afraid. They're either afraid or they think that this message is dangerous. And the only reason why they would think that a message of unity and, hey, like, maybe don't demonize people who are being, fired for their choices. Like, the only reason why that message is dangerous is because it puts a crack in the narrative, and they're very subscribed to the narrative. So yeah, I mean, this is just pointing out the hypocrisy of the media zeitgeist and big corporate news and whatever else. And it's nothing new, but it's still unfortunate, because I mean, it's one thing if a song is trending with a label behind it where you have access to everything, you have a big marketing budget. But I mean, this song has been blocked on in basically every step of the way. So it's really just come from, the help of our supporters. A few Tom McDonald shared the song, Zuby shared the song, and luckily Dark Horse Podcast shared the song. But it's really just been going through by word of mouth. And it's interesting because, yeah, like Google blocked all the ads, Facebook blocked all the ads. So it's literally just like, hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. So it's like a real grassroots movement, and still crickets when it comes to media.
There's way more of us than them.
You'd like to get access to my show as well as other great TV style shows too, like Ezra's Nightly Ezra Levant Show and David Menzies' Friday night show, Rebel Roundup. Just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe. That's rebelnews.com/subscribe.